Welcome back to Banter and Beauty Bosses. I'm your host, Sami Pelling, and I'm here with my absolutely fabulous co-host, Emma Thomas.
Hello there.
Whether you're tuning in on Spotify or watching us on YouTube, we're so happy to have you with us today. This is a place of real talk, honest business tips, and a little bit of banter for all you beauty bosses out there. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit the subscription button and leave us a review. It helps us reach more beauty entrepreneurs just like you. Ready for today's episode?
Hell yeah. Yeah, let's go, everyone. So, today we are going to be talking about some pretty big topics. One of them is the financial side of the world, how the world is going crazy, and the possibility of recessions, and how you can make your business as recession proof as possible. We're also going to be talking about punishing our clients. Tune in and listen in to find out what I mean by punishing your clients. So, welcome to today. So, should we start with our client punishment, or should we leave that for everybody for later?
I think we should leave that for the end.
Okay. So at the moment, most of us try not to watch the news or listen to the news, but we cannot avoid what is going on in the world at the moment, and it feels like the whole world has just gone crazy. It's been slightly unstable for a while. But when there's instability, one of the things that's always impacted is the financial side of everything. And people start to worry about what they're spending their money on. Nobody knows what's around the corner, and how we want to discuss how you can make your treatment and your services valuable to your clients, so that when they're thinking about where they can save money and have cutbacks, it's not going to be you that they're cutting back from. So that's what we're going to explore today in today's session, where we're talking about recessions and how to keep your business afloat going forward.
It's all about adding value and explaining to your clients what value you're bringing to their lifestyle, making them feel like they're like when you have your fresh nails done, you're like, oh my God, everybody, look at my nails. Oh, you go into the shop and someone goes, oh, your nails look lovely. And it makes you feel happy, or, you've just had your hair done, you've just had your facial, you've just, it makes you feel as a person receiving that treatment. You need to then portray that to your clients and be like, why do they want to come to you? Why are they picking you to do this service, and why they need to keep coming?
Yeah, and we're not talking about discounts. If you've watched any of our podcasts before, you'll see that Sami and I are very, very anti-discounting prices. We're more for about adding value rather than dropping prices. So it's not about being the cheapest, but it is about, as Sami said, adding that value. Let's say we go into a recession in October, you need to be preparing and planning for this now, because we know that there's quieter months in the year. And what can you do now with your clients to start adding that value now, so that you are really the last person that they're thinking of when it comes to cutting their stuff down? So, for example, I'm starting to see a lot of people that are now not adding value by increasing their costs. So I've seen a few people lately say, come to my salon and you'll get this drink and you'll get a free cuticle oil and you'll get this, that, and the other. Well, that is adding value to your clients, but it's costing you a lot of money. But we've got to bear in mind that at the moment, what you want to do is add value in a way that isn't going to cost you anything, because you want to stay as profitable as possible. Otherwise, you may as well drop your prices and just whatever. So add value, try and think about some add-ons. Sami and I love an add-on. Constantly for an add-on. Yeah, getting to know your client. Clients really, really love that whole personalized service. They want you to talk to them as a friend. And I know we talk about the whole professional side, and a lot of people can't win, can they? Because you see, oh, you're a bit too friendly by calling them babe. But actually, if that's what that's a relationship between you and your client, why not? Why not? Keep it personal. Make friends with your client. Make them think that when they come to you, it's a whole feel good thing. They're going to have a chat with their mate, but also get a beautiful service done at the same time. So those are little things to think about, the way you are with your clients.
I think it's such a good thing. Like in the course, the beauty business course, building a thriving nail business, I've got in there, and it's a whole section about client retention. Basically saying things like remembering that they've just gone on holiday, remembering their birthday, remembering their kids' names or their husband's name, or just remembering stuff that they've talked to you about goes a long way, because it'll be like, oh, how was so and so? Like, did you have a nice time? Or, oh, how was your holiday? Oh, tell me all about it. Have you got any pictures? Or, making it more personal can make it so much better experience for them, because then they feel valued as well and they feel
Definitely.
appreciated, and then they're more likely to, like, some of my people, they'll tip me more, or it's just little things, or they'll give you a gift at Christmas or your birthday or whatever it may be, but it's because they see the value in you and they appreciate you as a person. And it's all about being authentically you. You don't have to be like everybody else. Be yourself, but like just showing up, be yourself. You don't. There's no need to be rude, but sometimes you just got to stand your ground and you've got to have boundaries. But also, yeah, just as a whole, make them want to come to you.
Yeah, and you've got to bear in mind as well that what they're paying you is a lot cheaper than what they would be paying a therapist.
Yeah. I've got there. You're never fully dressed without a set of nails. There's that one, and then I've got one there because a nail appointment is cheaper than therapy.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
one
it
there.
is. Yeah,
And then I've got another one. This nail studio is a safe space, because it is.
yeah, definitely. Think about those client relationships. If you have that really strong relationship with your client where they tell you everything, they don't want to lose that. They do not want to lose that. I know a girl who is an amazing nail tech. I mean, she's just naturally just amazingly talented. But whenever I'm on holiday, I mean, I don't do a lot of nails, and I don't really take any new clients on for it. But when I'm on holiday, I'll always, or someone's asking for a nail tech, I'll always recommend this person because she really is good. And the feedback I get from her is, so and so is amazing. She's so good. She knows everything about nails. Her color confidence is amazing. Like, she comes up with some great ideas. She just doesn't talk much. And I recognize that this poor girl is so, so good at that part of her job. But our job isn't just about being an amazing nail tech or an amazing beauty therapist. Our job is about giving a client, like a client experience. I do like our waxing, and one of the things we do in the training is we teach our students to make it a bit more of a nicer experience. So the whole point of it is that waxing is more comfortable by using this brand. But also when we apply our after cream and our after lotions, we give them a little massage. It's like just something so simple, but our clients are enjoying that premium experience. So that relationship with your client is so, so huge. And I know some people really find it hard to remember everything their clients say to us. We see a lot of people every day. I get it. You know what? Keep a little notepad. And
Yeah.
as soon as your client's left, then just like write down, have a little scribble. Sammy's,
But like,
come on.
no, I have client cards, right? So I write
Perfect.
down everything they have, like color wise, because we always go back to it and we have a look. You could literally like write on some of this. This is obviously a blank one. You could look, initial treatment and comments. You could literally write in there, husband, kid,
Is a
da, da,
pro.
da. Like that
Yeah,
could be something
yeah,
that you leave as a comment just for yourself. Or even if you have like a system, you could always leave notes for yourself on there, because you
yeah.
just don't want to forget, or just, I don't know, it depends on how your brain works, really.
It's true. The therapists that I used to have in my salon when I had a salon were brilliant. And when they rebooked their client, they'd put a little note next to it and it'd say something like Greece or something like that, or son's birthday. You'd just see, because it was back in the days when we had like paper diaries, pen and paper, and you would just see these little words all the way through the diary. But it
But
really
it's
helped,
helpful, isn't it?
yeah, help the therapist to trigger. Like when they saw that client, it triggered for them, and it was the first thing they'd say to them, how was such and such? And you've got to bear this in mind that the relationship, if you were going on a date and you went on second date and that person doesn't ask you anything about yourself or doesn't remember anything you told them the first time, actually you're going to think you're an absolute prat, and you're
Yeah.
all going to think that. So yeah,
You're like, you weren't even listening to me. God damn
yeah.
it. How
So
dare you?
let's turn our client relationships into dating.
I love that. That's brilliant.
So yeah, there's a couple of things you need to do now to protect your businesses going forwards. Yeah, building those client relationships now is essential. Otherwise, that client loyalty won't be there. If they have to cut back in their financial expenditures, you will be the one they cut back on, and the person down the road who costs 10 quid is going to be who they go to. They're not going to have that loyalty with you. But we did say at the start of this podcast that we were also going to talk about punishing our clients. I mean, this is such a contrast because we've just gone from how to like bringing client loyalty, and now we're talking about punishment. But basically, boundaries are important.
there's been such a high amount of people saying they've had last minute cancellations, no shows, all of these sort of things. So that's why you need to have policies in place to protect yourself and your business. You need to make sure that you've got deposits or like just all sorts of different payments options available to protect yourself. Cancellation fees, late cancellation fees, no show fees, all that sort of stuff. Like if you've got a client who repeatedly does it, it's okay to stop having them as a client, and you can ban clients, and that is okay. Yes, okay, you're losing a client, but if they're not respecting you, then they don't deserve your time.
Yeah, maybe there needs to be a bit of a warning system in place.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be able to fill that now. Like that's wasting my time, wasting my day, etc., etc. If you don't cancel your fee, you give them, and then if they don't pay within that, like say you give them a week, or you give them to the end of the week, or whatever, however you want to work it. If you request the payment and they don't pay it, cancel any appointments
Yeah,
they got
they're done.
booked, because guarantee you they will pay that fee and then they'll rebook with a deposit,
Yeah.
because they then value you as a person because you've stuck to it, and you're not just going, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, because you're losing money. Someone else could have been in that spot.
Yeah, I mean, I do think bear in mind that if you've got a really good cancellation thing going on and that client cancels last minute but pays you for the time, do you know what? Your quid's in really in lots of ways because you sat with an hour free to maybe have your lunch, or if you're like me, go for a wee. You don't have
Yeah.
to choose which one you're doing. Is it wee, food, or drink? But you've got that time then, you've got that appointment. Yes, you're not going to fill it with another client, but you have been paid for it.
Yeah, so that's the different subject, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because it is the
totally
same
different.
subject, but it's like you don't need to ban that client because they respect you as a client
Yeah,
or
but
as a tech or
it's still, even with that good client, it's still always worth having a chat with them and saying, "Look, I've got a lot of people that are desperate for these appointments. Appreciate you're paying me for it, but I've got a list of people who are desperate, and you're leaving it too short notice for me to get anyone else in." So yeah, it's okay for you to do that. It's totally okay for you to say to a client, "Look, I'm not happy with the way things are running. There's nothing wrong with that." And yeah, you may lose a client, but do it the right way. Do it the
yeah.
right
See,
way.
I lost a client last year purely for the fact that she made me feel like crap, and I just had to like send that message saying like, due to like after careful consideration, I've really just decided I'm not the nail tech for you, purely because we just wasn't a good match.
Yeah.
Like, but yet she said I was the best nail tech she ever had, but yet she didn't make me feel like that.
I know. It's just
It's
people's
like they constantly
personalities.
criticize everything, or they make comments, or you're constantly sitting there, or they make your appointment like double the time that it should be, because it just becomes hard work, and then you don't look forward to it. You can get rid of them clients, because do you know
Definitely.
what? It's been so nice without them.
Yeah.
It's literally a case of you have to think about it and you have to make sure that it is the right decision. But if it's going to make you a happier person, a therapist, beauty therapist, nail technician, whatever you do or you offer, if it makes you unhappy, you do not have to work with them, because
Yeah.
why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, also in the same way, if you don't want to work Saturdays, you don't do it. It's your business. You've had a business for a reason and you're the one in control. But I know somebody who had a business that's closing it down this year, and it's not beauty related. And she's closing it down. She's given all of her customers a year's notice. And the reason she's closing it, she knows the reason she's closing it is she didn't set those boundaries early enough, that she worked hours that she didn't want to. She said yes to everybody, and she can't pull back from that. So she got to the point where she hated it. She hated her business because it wasn't working for her. So yeah, on that note, everybody, I'll leave it to Sami to close up for us today.
Yes, don't forget to leave us any comments. Have you had situations like this in the past? Have you experienced any of the topics that we've spoke about today? Give us a like, a subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for
See you
watching.
next week. Bye, everyone.